Welcome to my presentation about connecting theories of education to ICT. Throughout this presentation, I will investigate two learning theories that I think will direct my teaching style as a future teacher: constructivism and connectivism. I will summarize these theories, outline the key concepts, discuss key figures, provide examples of how I would use it in the classroom, and finally connect the theory to ICT. The first theory that I will discuss is constructivism, which is similar to cognitivism. Constructivism places the learner at the center of their learning, which in turn gives the learner control of their learning, what they learn, and how they learn. There is thought to be two main branches within constructivism: cognitive constructivism, which was developed by Piaget in 1936, and social constructivism, which was developed by Vygotsky in 1934, but not published until 1960. Cognitive constructivism is centered on and structured for the individual. In this branch of the theory, the individual learns based on their own experiences and prior knowledge. Piaget believed that this is how learners learned most effectively. Social constructivism occurs within a large group. Learners build their personal knowledge by interacting with one another, and in return, they contribute to the learning of others. This often occurs in a collaborative environment where learners are all working together towards one common goal. Each of the branches of constructivism shares some key concepts. Firstly, that learning is an active and constructive process. Often in the classroom, this looks like hands-on activities where the students are both mentally and physically involved in the learning, rather than simply listening to a lecture and taking notes. The next key concept is that when constructivism is being used in a classroom, it looks like the teacher will be guiding students to solve a problem. The final concept is that when new information is introduced, it is linked to prior knowledge and experiences. Some examples of how you could use constructivism in the classroom is using mind mapping, research projects, and collaborative assignments. In the music class, this could be done by introducing a new song and asking students what instruments they would like to add for accompaniment. ICT and constructivism work very well together because using ICT applications can be a way for students to take control over their education. Additionally, ICT can result in students being more engaged and creating more individualized learning opportunities. The next theory that I will discuss is a more modern theory, connectivism. The theory makes sense of how technologies and the internet have opened up new ways for people to learn and share information on the World Wide Web and among themselves. The theory was developed by George Simmons and Stephen Downes and was introduced in 2005. Connectivism not only involves humans, but technology and social relationships. The primary focus of this theory is that the process and development of making specific and reusable connections between people and technology and information. The theory then looks at how you can move between and use these connections and networks both formally and informally. Learning in this process allows for learning to be independent of places, people, time, and ultimately it does not have any boundaries and is accessible for more people. Similarly to constructivism, in a connectivism classroom, the teacher acts more as a guide for learning rather than a source of knowledge. The teacher works towards teaching their students how to look and manage information that they intake rather than just tell them the information. In order for this theory to be successful in education, there needs to be more of a focus on providing the students with opportunities to access, grow, and develop their networks and connections, while also taking into account that no one's digital literacy is the same. I believe that I could incorporate connectivism into my future classroom by connecting my students with other classrooms in other provinces or territories. I could also allow my students with opportunities to join online platforms to learn about other musical styles. Technology is an essential part of the connectivism theory. in education. Without this, students would not have the means necessary to build these electronic connections with their peers and contribute to the learning of others through the World Wide Web. I have always anticipated that I would teach using a constructivist focus. However, when I was introduced to the notion of connectivism, I also think that I would incorporate that theory into my teaching, because technology and building those networks is such an important aspect of learning for my future students. Here are the sources that I used for my presentation: Ed Tech Theory, Learning Theories, and an academic journal.